Hey guys, Matt here, and today I am in the field taking a look at three discs that are brothers from the same mother, as it were. We got the MVP Neutron Deflector, the Axiom Plasma Prism Pyro, try saying that 5 times fast, and the Streamline Runway. Now all three of these are overstable mid-ranges made by the MVP brands of discs up in Maple Valley, Michigan. And they're kind of polarizing in that a lot of people like the deflectors. They're very overstable mid-range. People seem to either love or hate the pyro, and I have not heard hardly anybody at all talking about the runway. So I'm going to take a look at how they fly, what they do, and see which one's the best. I'm going to start out with a backhand, do some forehands, and maybe a couple other shots. We'll figure it out. Okay, well I kind of goofed up the throw of the pyro, but it and the deflector both went about 265. With the runway going much further, it was an even 300. I'm going to try a forehand now and see how they hold up to that extra torque. Okay, so forehand, the stabilizer got turned into the crosswind pretty badly. It only went about 265. Pyro held really nicely. It was the longest. It was about 335. And the deflector faded pretty hard, but it was a pretty flight at 320. For my next shot, I'm going to throw a high anhyzer forehand, which is a shot I use a lot on the course with overstable mid. And I just want to see how they hold. Will they hold the line to the ground? Will they pan out? Will they overflip? Let's see. That was kind of interesting to see that the runway and the deflector were almost the same in flight on that line, while the pyro panned out a little bit and ended up finishing a little bit further and more to the left. Very interesting. I would not have said it was the most overstable by any stretch previously. So now I'm just going to let them rip and see how far they can go. Alright, so after having thrown the three of them on a variety of lines, they definitely are three different animals. Now the runway probably has the least overstability of the three. It's still overstable, but more overstable like a Bard or M1 is overstable, but I don't think it quite has the glide of either of those. It's solidly a stable disc. You're not going to flip it too easy, but forehand I was able to coax a good amount of turn, and on a forehand a good amount of distance. It went about 375 and in a very controllable line. Good amount of turn, a little bit of fade, netted pretty straight. So if you're the type of player where that's the type of mid-range you like, that's not crazy overstable but a good wind fighter and not going to hook up too hard on you, that's a good one to look at. The deflector was probably the most overstable of the three, and I would say the numbers of 5, 3.5, 0, 4 are pretty accurate. Not crazy glide, but got enough to get you down the fairway. My longest throw with it was 340, and it's not particularly long for a mid-range forehand for me, but it was very controllable, and you could kind of tell where it was going to end up out of the hand every time. So I really like that one a lot. And of the three, it's the most overstable. It's almost Justice level, like a beadless Justice with just a little bit hint of less stability that being a beadless disc would imply. And the Pyro was interesting. It's not as overstable as the Deflector. It's a little glidier, I think, than either the Deflector or the Runway. And it doesn't fade quite as hard as the Deflector, but it still fades pretty solidly. So it's kind of right in the middle, a little better glide than both, however. My longest throw with it was around 360, and it held a hyzer almost that whole way. So I think I might could coax a little bit more juice out of it as well. Of the three, I think this was my favorite. I know it's quite polarizing to say that because people tend to not like it a whole lot, but overall, I enjoyed it a lot. It was very easy to hit a lot of lines that I would want to use on the course, and I feel like of the three, it might be the most versatile because you can pump it pretty hard on a backhand line. It's going to hold and fade late, or if you're going to throw it forehand, it can hold that anhyzer a long way, all the way to the ground, or it can have a pretty nice mid-distance forehand shot for you. So of the three, that was my favorite, but they were all really good, and depending on the type of disc you like, you might like a different one. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.